Welcome back to the Real Ag Mechanic. Today we're going to talk about some of the most overlooked maintenance items on John Deere self-propelled sprayers. These are items that can save you thousands in repairs, reduce downtime during spraying season, and help your machine reach high hours without major failures. Most operators focus on engine oil and filters, but the expensive failures often come from the maintenance points nobody checks. Let's get into it. 1. Boom pivot bushings and wear components. One of the most expensive repairs on a sprayer is boom structural wear. Every boom section pivots thousands of times. Field vibration, transport movement, and boom oscillation all place constant stress on the pivot points. Inspect all boom pivot bushings, wear pads, pins, and hinge points during service intervals. If they wear through, hardened steel pins begin wearing directly into the structure. At that point, a simple bushing replacement becomes an expensive welding and line boring repair. A few inexpensive parts can prevent a full boom rebuild. Whenever your John Deere technician services the machine, ask them specifically to inspect every boom pivot point for excessive movement. 2. Engine to hydrostatic pump drive shaft. This is one of the most overlooked grease points on many self-propelled sprayers. Between the engine and hydro drive is a drive shaft with universal joints. These joints operate continuously whenever the machine is moving. Because access is not convenient, many machines go years without proper lubrication. A dry, universal joint eventually develops wear and vibration. Vibration becomes failure, and failure usually occurs during the busiest week of spraying season. Grease them according to schedule. 3. Final drive oil changes. The final drives transfer enormous torque to the wheels under high loads and harsh environments. Many operators neglect these because there are no obvious symptoms. By the time noise develops, damage has often already occurred. Follow the service interval. Clean oil is significantly cheaper than gears and bearings. When draining, inspect for metallic particles that indicate early wear. 4. Hub seals. Many assume any oil residue around the hub indicates a failed seal, but that is not always true. Mechanical face seals run against each other. A small amount of residue or sweating can be normal, but active leakage requires investigation. Inspect hub areas frequently. Finding a problem early can prevent bearing damage and catastrophic hub failures. 5. Air suspension bags. Airbags are expensive, yet many fail because of something simple like trapped debris or mud. Foreign material becomes trapped between moving components and the airbag. Eventually, the rubber wears through and fails. Inspect bags regularly for rubbing, cuts, or cracks. A 2-minute inspection can prevent a very costly replacement. 6. Boom suspension system. Many operators inspect the boom, but few inspect the suspension components. Check accumulators, suspension links, bearings, and isolation mounts. Excessive movement causes boom instability long before you notice a problem. 7. Hydraulic oil cooler cleaning. A partially plugged cooler creates major problems. High temperatures reduce component life rapidly. Pumps, motors, and seals all suffer when oil temperatures rise. Inspect and clean cooling packages regularly, especially in dusty conditions. 8. Wheel motor and hydraulic hose inspection. Inspect hoses carefully for chafing, seepage, or cracked coverings. A failed hose during spraying season creates downtime and contamination risks. Most show warning signs long before they burst. 9. Nozzle body inspection. Modern application systems rely on accurate performance. Inspect for wear, leakage, and sticking components. Application errors across thousands of hectares become extremely expensive. Uniform application starts with properly maintained nozzle assemblies. 10. Electrical connectors. Modern sprayers contain hundreds of connections. Moisture, fertilizer, and vibration can cause corrosion. A 5-minute connector inspection often prevents hours of difficult diagnostics later. Check them around wheel motors and steering systems. Final thoughts. The biggest repairs usually don't start with major failures. They start with small issues that go unnoticed. A worn bushing, a dry universal joint, a leaking seal. The best operators are not the ones fixing breakdowns. They're the ones preventing them. If you found this useful, subscribe to the Real Ag Mechanic for real-world diagnostics and maintenance that keeps you running. We'll see you in the next one.